What's going on, guys? It's Hi, and check out what I just received. My new Seiko Samurai PADI edition. And in this video, I wanted to share with you some of my first impressions of this new addition to my collection. So let's get to it. First, let's take a look at the packaging. This is what you can expect to get from an American authorized dealer as of January of 2018. Prior to this, and around the 2017 Thanksgiving season, Seiko actually shipped these watches in a special edition box that's very similar to a hard plastic pelican case. It's really unfortunate that that is no longer the thing, but what are you gonna do? As you can see, we first have a white box shield with a cutout for the Seiko logo. Removing this, we get the black and white Seiko box with the barcode on the side. SRPB99 is of course the model number, men's bracelet, and this watch retails for $550. Getting inside of the box, we have the standard Seiko black pillow, and beneath this, we have just cardboard separating the watch from all the various paperwork on the bottom. And as you can see right here, I've removed the tags from the watch, indicating that is the Seiko Prospect and of course the PADI edition. With this watch you will get two booklets. One is the instruction manual for various movements, and of course the other is the limited warranty and instructions. If you happen to have purchased this watch from an authorized dealer, then in the back of your warranty book will be the warranty card. Now, I'm not going to flip this over because all of my watch's information is written on the back of the card, but it's pretty standard information. The serial number, the model number, where you purchased the watch, all standard stuff. I purchased this watch from Mimo's Jewelry in Long Beach, California, and I have to give a shout out to the store because Mimo's is an authorized store, but on top of this, they actually have really good deals on the site. This watch retails for $550, but I reached out and was told that there is a discount code Seiko35 that would work on the Seiko Prospect line for 35% of your purchase, so there you go. Now, I'm not an affiliate with Mimo's, nor am I getting any kickback from you using that discount code. I purchased this watch with my own money and can say whatever I want about it. I just wanted to give credit where credit is due because I had a good buying experience with this dealer. Now that we got all the minor stuff out of the way, let's take a look at the real star of the show. Here is a Seiko SRPB99, also known as the Samurai, in the PADI Special Edition. Let's cover some of the specs. This watch features the Seiko 4R35 movement, which features hacking and hand winding. This movement has a 41-hour power reserve and also features a date complication. So I have to admit that this is actually my first experience with this particular movement, but from the minor research that I've done, this does seem to be one of those just tried and true, gets the job done movements. I mean, there's not much to it. I mean, there's a date complication, hour, minute, seconds. It's pretty straightforward. There isn't much to go wrong. And of course, this is coming from Seiko, one of the leading movement manufacturers in the world, so I would put my money in it, and obviously I have in purchasing this watch. In terms of build, the PADI Samurai is constructed from stainless steel and has a proprietary Seiko Hardlex crystal. If you're familiar with Seiko, then this is really nothing new. The stainless steel and Hardlex crystal is what we've come to expect from Seiko from this particular price range. And we can sit here and nitpick and complain about the watch not having a sapphire crystal, but Hardlex is of quality and it does a good job and it keeps the price down. So I'm not going to complain about it. I like the watch as it is. This particular edition of the Samurai features a Pepsi bezel and a very interesting etched, carved out black dial with what seems to be repeating wave patterns. This was the main reason for my purchase of this watch. The dial just looks insane in my opinion. The level of detail that you get at this price point is just unreal. Seeing pictures of this dial really does not do it justice. Holding it in hand and seeing it in real life really brings the dial to life. You see all the little details, the little lines that make up these wave patterns, and when you move the dial around as it reflects in light, you see shades of black, you see silvers, grays, and this dial is just something else. Then we have the LumiBrite treated indices on top of this dial, and there really isn't much that needs to be said about LumiBrite because it's kind of come to be a standard in the industry. It's one of the best in terms of output and how much glow it gives off, so it is really appreciated in this particular instance. What's interesting with the Lumibrite of this particular samurai is that with the exception of the bezel pip and the hour hand, the Lumibrite actually glows in a shade of blue rather than the typical green that we've come to associate with Lumibrite. In my opinion, this is a nice change, and I may actually like this more. In terms of aesthetics, I would have preferred to have all of the Lumibrite glow in blue rather than mixing the colors, but in use, the different colors do help to differentiate between the hands and the bezel pip. Being that this is a dive watch, this PADI Samurai will come with the dive watch essentials. First, let's talk about this bezel, which is unidirectional and features 120 clicks. This particular bezel feels very dampened, it doesn't have a loud click, and it takes just a slight bit more force to turn than say on my SKX. I personally think that these are good things, but they're just things that you have to feel for yourself to know how much tension this bezel actually gives. And for me, this samurai actually provides me with one of the best actions that I've ever gotten from a bezel. Next, let's look at this crown. Being that this is a dive watch, there is a screwed down crown. I would have to say again that this crown is just one of those things that you have to feel for yourself. It's just a very dampened whine that just feels so right. The knurling on the crown also makes it very tactile and enjoyable to use. If I had one complaint with the crown, it would just be with its placement. Because the case protrudes a little bit over the crown, it just becomes difficult to pull the crown out from the top. So what I've ended up doing is just pulling the crown out from behind. This is something that I'm not used to doing, so it's just a minor annoyance. Lastly, the PADI Samurai comes on an oyster-style 3-link bracelet. With this, it just depends on who you talk to. Some people hate the Seiko bracelets, and some people have no problem with them. In this particular case, I have no problem with it. It fits the Samurai's aesthetic very well, and is a good addition to the watch, so I actually like it in this particular instance. So upon first impressions, I would have to say that this was a good purchase. And if you were like me and you were on the fence about whether or not to buy this particular timepiece, I would personally say to just go for it. I have to be honest, the Seiko Samurai has never been on the top of my to-buy list, and that's because the styling of this watch can be considered to be controversial. You either like it or you don't, and I personally have always leaned towards the I don't like it camp. To me, this is just a very in-your-face watch. It features a very big, thick, robust, angular case that just screams, look at me. And that isn't exactly what I was looking for, at least in my timepieces. That being said, the Samurai is a very good-looking watch. And if this styling is what you're looking for, then man, the Samurai provides such a good package. For me, it was all about the PADI edition, and particularly this dial, and without this crazy carved, etched out dial, I probably wouldn't have invested in this watch. I've owned this watch a few days now, and it is slowly growing on me. Every time that I look down on my wrist and see this watch, it's like, man, I like this watch a little bit more every time. All of the praises aside, I wouldn't personally say that this watch is perfect, at least not for me, and that mainly has to do with the various mixings of colors that this particular edition entails. For example, the black dial with the red and blue bezel. I realize that they are going for a Pepsi bezel, but this is really Pepsi Zero now with the majority black, little hints of red, blue, and silver here and there. For me, had Seiko gone with just a red and black colorway, that would have been a knockout, and I would have bought this watch a long time ago. Red and black, oh man, this thing would look insane. Then we have the Lumibrite treated indices, and again with the mixing of colors, we have blue pretty much everywhere. Then all of a sudden, a green minute hand and a green bezel pip. Super random. Like I said earlier, it helps to tell time in the dark. You can differentiate between the hour and the minute hand, but I mean, the hands are completely different. There's really no mistaking one from another, so this is just lost on me. Even with those minor color complaints, I would still have to say that as a whole and as an entire package, everything works together very well. And Seiko has managed to put together a color scheme that even for a nitpicker like me, I still think that this is a very good looking watch. But that is all just a first impressions. I'm going to be wearing this watch a lot more over the next few days, weeks, months, and hopefully years, and we'll be making a more in-depth and thorough review of this particular timepiece, so make sure you check back for that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it around, comment down below with any thoughts or questions that you may have. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.